forget that as well. But I decided to have you guys jump on in the Push to Legendary page. We need to discuss this, and me and Christy have discussed doing a Zoom once a month for Triple Diamonds and above. Who's ever a part of that page? That page was for only Triple Diamonds, but people have promoted, and I've had presidentials and ambassadors come to me and ask me to be a part of that page. So now it's Push to Legendary instead of Push to Presidential. So that's fabulous. I know a few girls, me and Kirsten, decided this time tonight. Everyone said nighttime, but apparently out of the 250 people, 11 of you really meant nighttime, so it's fine. It's great. But I wanted to kick off the new year with doing our first Zoom, and I couldn't think of anyone better than two of my favorite girls in this business to hop on and give you guys some inspiration for this next year. We have Ambassador Erin Tweed and Ambassador Christy Christensen, who both just had babies in the last few, well, Erin very recently, and Christy, how old's baby? Oh, she froze. Christy, she froze now. But so we're going to have them talk and do a little bit of a kickoff for you guys. Their journeys.
Can you hear me?
Hello.
Yep.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, but you're frozen.
That's really delayed.
Sign out and get back on, maybe? We'll have Erin go first, because I know she's got to put the baby to sleep.
Okay, bye.
Well, Finn to sleep. Okay, Erin, so you already know what you want to talk about, and I literally just asked her less than an hour ago, but I'm like, I've been meaning to ask you like this whole week, and I avoided it because I'm like, oh, she has a baby, she'll be busy, like I don't want to ask. But of course, Erin, this huge heart she has, she's like, of course I'll jump on. I'm like, of course you would, because you're Erin Tweed. So, Erin, go ahead. And
I was going to say, even if I'm nursing, then that's what would be happening, so it's fine. Luckily, I have a few minutes away. So, really the one thing, because I know Dana kind of just talked about jump starting and kicking off, and so I'll just share a little bit about like what the end of last year looked like for me. So we all kind of went through like the $9.99 kits and stuff like that, and so after that promotion, it was I don't know how to describe it, but I was still working hard and still trying to build my business and stuff wasn't happening, and I was getting frustrated. I'm sure like most of you. And, I remember just praying and being like, God, please bring another person into my life. And I promise you, if you bring me a distributor, I'm going to like give back, so we start making those, I don't even know what you want to call it. Like pregnancy brain is still on high, but making those demands and trying to just like justify. And so, I got to a point where I was still working, but I didn't have like the same mentality. For a while it had always come slightly easy just because I had built for so long and had a good, strong hundreds list. And so it was kind of like starting from the ground up. And so I remember reading the book, Get Over Your Damn Self, and talking about finding my why again, because honestly, we had completed everything. My big why for the beginning of the year was to get pregnant through IVF, and we did that. And we were about to have our daughter. And so I hadn't really thought about what my why was. I kept saying, oh, I want to help more people, but I didn't. You've got to figure out what's in it for you. And so, I found myself stuck in that spot where I hadn't really established anything of what am I going after? What is my goals? What are my dreams? And so I just kind of started switching my mindset, and November came, and it was an awesome month. I was top enroller again. And then last month, which would have been, baby month, having baby December 21st, I completed my steps almost 4 times. And I started the month off by, I bought the book, The Prayer of Jabez. And so I encourage you to read it if you haven't ever read it. You can look up the prayer, but I just started praying that over my business and talking about an abundance mindset and not being fearful, and talking about, okay, God, I want you to bless my territory and expand my territory, so that I can be a blessing to more people and not help or not cause any harm, or, I just want to help more people. And so it's called The Prayer of Jabez. It's by Bruce Wilkinson. But it's actually like 1 Corinthians 4:10 or something like that. But he wrote this whole book about how praying this over his life and his business every single day, And I read each chapter because it's only 90 pages. And so I read each chapter like the first week of the month. And I know like on December 6th, I had my first steps to success filled out. And so I was just like, okay. So for the longest time, I kept feeling God say, be patient, be patient, be patient. And then last month he finally said, be brave, be brave, be brave. And so we're on the verge of something amazing. You just have to get to the point where you have to find out what's in it for you. So if you're kind of been stuck in that spot, I encourage you to go back and just evaluate like, what's going to push you? Because that was the biggest thing for me. Like we had accomplished so much. And I didn't really, I kept saying, I want to help more people because I know when I help more people, it's going to help me. But I didn't really think about like, what do I actually want? And so that's kind of what I did. And, we've definitely had struggles, and that's a whole nother issue with all of that. But that's just kind of what I've been doing. And so, I am here today, and one more customer, my first steps will be filled out. And so, it's I can't explain it to you, but I just have felt like this movement, and just saying that you've got to be brave and you've got to step up, and now is your time. And so this is the time to just take advantage of that.
I muted myself. And I absolutely love that. So as we're going into 2008, well, we are in 2018, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting ready to go into conference. What's your biggest advice in this moment for each of these girls? I mean, we're all triple diamonds and above, so we've been in this business. So what's your advice? Your one tip for going into conference and getting ready for the new
I
year?
would really make sure that you have your game plan ready for presidential and above. I know that probably, the last few months and stuff, it's probably like gotten swept under the rug, or, everybody's just kind of trying to stay above water. But it's like, now is the time, because we know what's going to happen and what's going to come. And I remember going into when I was going to hit presidential, beginning of January, 84 spots away, and we hit it by end of March. And so a lot can happen in a little bit of time, but you have to be mentally prepared. You have to have your leaders prepared. And so just going over and knowing what it's actually going to take. Because I know sometimes for me, like, I didn't want to actually physically look at the chart, because I was like, oh God, like this makes me sick thinking about how much it's going to take to get there. But it was like the minute that I did it, that's when God kept putting those people in my path. And so we were able to do that.
Absolutely love that. Well, thank you so much, Erin, for jumping on real quick. Give the baby and cute little Finn big hugs for me.
I will.
Go. Feel free to stay on if you want to, but I love you. Mwah.
All right, love you guys. Bye.
And next I wanted to, Christy just moved. There we go. I wanted to introduce Christy, you guys. So I met Christy when she was an Emerald. And I won't get teary-eyed because Christy doesn't cry, so I can't cry, right?
Hey, sometimes I cry at sad stuff.
Do you? And so I met Christy as an Emerald, and I've watched her go through from Emerald to Ambassador to Triple Diamond on 2.0 to number 11 income earner, and that's all within the last 4 years.
I just hit 5, but I met you at 4.
Okay, so that counts. So I've known her for 4 years. Did all of this for 5 years. So I reached out to her tonight because I know a few people commented on what they wanted this Zoom on, which probably aren't even on this Zoom, so too bad for them. She is a huge believer in what you put out, you get back in tenfold. And about so many people said rebuilding on that list. And first I wanted to delete all of your comments because I don't believe in rebuilding. That's just not me. And so no better person than Christy, who has built how many personally enrolled diamonds?
I have no idea.
She sneezed and she has like,
I don't know.
She really did not sneeze. She works her booty off. I know that, but I always just make her sneeze because I'm like, seriously, you just popped another 5 diamonds? Like, you made it seem so easy. So anyway, Christy, I'll let you take it over and kind of, you know what to do.
Okay, so I won't go through my whole story because, y'all just go off on a rampage. But you guys are already triples. And I don't care if you're maintaining double or diamond or ruby. It doesn't matter. Like, you are a triple. So even as a diamond, I went from emerald to double because I did lose rank. It doesn't matter because just like Dana said, you're never rebuilding. You're always building. Do you think that when people hit ambassador, all of those legs stay at 400 forever? No, they don't. That's not how it works. So you're always going to be building, because our compensation plan is paid out for people who continue to work. It is not paid out for people who sit on their butt. So, and the reason I like to say that is because, like, every year I'm going to be building new diamonds and new leaders. Why? Because I want to stay number 11. I want to go to number 5. I want to go to number 1. And our compensation plan only pays out for that. So, kind of like what Erin said, make a game plan now. I know that it's freaking scary sometimes to bust out those charts, see who's working, who's not, and sometimes just erasing the entire charts altogether and saying, screw it. But that's what you need to do, because that's going to give you a clear vision. And if you look at your chart and you're like, okay, I need 500 people for ambassador, guess what? You plan to sign 500 people. Duplication happens in this business, but not until you're that example. Like, I do pop a lot of personally enrolled diamonds, a lot, and it's because I enroll a lot. And when I enroll, I can make sure that the people who are promoting are my personally enrolled, because if I'm going to be building, half of a diamond, better believe I signed that diamond. And there's and there's nothing wrong with that, Can't hear you.
So you guys know Christy is red beyond red with blue. She has her blues, but she's red. When you say money, she's like above and beyond, like she's ahead of you before you even said the word money.
Hey, listen, Dana makes me sound like I just like stuff and money, but that's not true. I'm totally red, but we do give back a lot and stuff. But
you do, but I'm
yes.
You know, that being said, but that's how you know how to work. You always have been that way. Even when I met you as an emerald, you said, hey, this is what I've got to do, and you go do it. It's not a bad thing being red, but you knew, hey, you were taught by your well, not sponsored, but you were taught to build diamonds. So you said, okay, this is what I'm going to do, build diamonds. You didn't know, I mean, you knew what it took to get ambassador, but your thing was build diamonds, personally enrolled diamonds, which happened to be, yes, your ambassador check may have been as good, but since you have so many personally enrolled diamonds, that's what got you to number 11, correct?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
1,000%.
That's a bigger thing to realize with people. So many people are like, oh, I need to be ambassador to have this amazing check. You do get an amazing check at ambassador, but your check's even more amazing when you have personally enrolled diamonds, which that's what Christy definitely absolutely bases her, I don't know, her paycheck. I don't know what you would
life goals.
Your focus
yes.
on building diamonds, because your diamonds do get you to ambassador and to your next rank. But what raises your paycheck is those personally enrolled diamonds.
Yes. And you guys, I know that people have questions a lot about where do I place? What do I place? Who do I work with? What do I do? The whole thing that I heard this from Lori Conway, like probably right when I met Dana. I was like maybe less than a year into the business, and she said, just get to ambassador as fast as you can, do whatever you need to do, and then you can do whatever you want to do. And so if I'm signing 15 distributors a month, guess what? I'm going to finish that personally enrolled diamond. I'm not going to be like, okay, girl, now you go sign the last 5. Like, I might say that, but I still plan on doing it, because at the end of the day, I'm not going to put my check or my promotion in someone else's hands. So you guys just have to focus on your own enrollments. That's it. Like, that's literally all it is, because you guys have heard this a million times. When you are that rock star, that's what you attract. It's just the way of the world. I found my leaders, and I find my leaders when I'm at the peak of my game. That's just what it is. Like, if I'm enrolling like crazy, they're like, oh, okay, it's possible, because you're showing them what's actually possible. So focus on your own enrollments and get that game plan together. But just know that, like, I don't care if your ambassador triple, 2.0, whatever. I don't care if you're freaking diamond. It is your mind 100%. And even though you guys are all triples and you know this, are you actually doing it? Because if you were actually taking control of it, you would be promoting already. Because that's honestly what it is. It's your mindset. And I have plenty of times, like yesterday, like last night. Of course, I know not to do this, but I went on an ambassador's profile and I was like, oh, my pictures suck. Hers are awesome. What am I doing? And Erin's like, shut your phone. Like, stop it, you know? I got all this baby weight to lose. I'm losing my crap. And he's like, stop. Like, stop. So I have to do that the same way that you guys do. Every single day going up to, because in January, I was triple last year in 2016. I was triple, and then I went presidential in February, and then I went ambassador in May. Okay, every single day, almost literally consistently.
Really easy.
It wasn't easy.
Really easy. But I like to think of that. So she was triple at conference.
Yes.
Presidential, and she was ambassador. And her goal was, okay, I'll go presidential. And then it was, I'll go ambassador. And look how, I mean, she did that. And how many distributors from triple to ambassador? I don't know numbers. So however many.
I have no idea. See, and I didn't even count what I needed because I wasn't expecting to go presidential that fast. Like I was like, I'm going presidential. And then it happened in February. And if I'm being honest, this was what drove me. I said, I am not going to be a presidential for 5 years. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to be one of those people. I'm not saying that that's a bad thing. Some people make ambassador check at presidential, but I wanted the title. I didn't even care about the income. I wanted the freaking ambassador title. And so I said, I'm going to bust my butt for the next 3 months and I'm going to make it happen. And I got a game plan and I got those charts out and I had every single diamond and double chart out that I needed. And I said, I'm going to fill these. And I watched The Secret every single day. I had it on in the background. I was working. I had it everywhere. And I just focused on what I wanted and that's it. I didn't follow other leaders. You guys, I don't follow other leaders. Like, Erin is so sweet. She will like and comment on my stuff sometimes. And so I'm like, oh, I'll go do it back. But I don't, I'll go over that in a minute, Cindy. But like, I don't follow other leaders. People say like, follow other leaders for inspiration. You don't need inspiration. Just sign customers and sign distributors. What you need to do is be disciplined, not inspired, disciplined. So
you've got two opposite people. We have Erin that's just so sweet and just loving, and then Christy's like, get your booty to work.
Hey, I'm sweet and loving too.
You are, but I just love how different. That's why I asked you guys.
I know.
Both taught. I mean, they're both. I think Erin was number 10 last year at conference, and Christy was number 11. So that shows no matter your personalities. I mean, Erin's obviously red too. Obviously. Christy's red too, but they also have that yellow. They have all color personality traits that just fit perfect, and I love that.
Yeah, and you know what though? Actually, when Erin was talking, I was thinking in my head like, wow, she's really like quiet and sweet. Like they're gonna think I'm crazy. But
no, Christy's very fun.
But you know what? Like everybody's gonna connect with other people differently. But what I mean by game plan is like, you need to pull out your charts, clean, empty charts. Don't have those ones that you've been erasing and redrawing for years. Pull out new charts. See who is actually working. Say, do you want to run with me? Yes or no. That's it. Put only the people who are actually working on there. Don't put the people with 50 BV. Don't put those people. Have clean, empty charts and say, I'm going to fill these up and I'm going to promote in February or March or whenever your date is. But have that specific date. And without that, you can't get there. If you're like, I'm going to sign steps of success a month. Great. You're going to sign 3 distributors and 4 customers. What promotion does that help you hit? It doesn't help you hit any. I'm not saying that you can't promote by signing steps of success, But without that game plan, if you have 50 distributors you need, 3 is not going to get you there. 3 will get you 3 people in promoting spots, and then you need to teach them how to get 3 and them how to get 3. But the only way that your mind is going to be able to focus on that is with those charts out. I don't use the eSuite to chart. I don't just freaking print out a piece of paper and do it like a normal person, like physically see it in front of you. I have been reading a book too. It's so awesome. Somebody posted it, I think, on the ambassador page, but it's called Think Like a Billionaire, Become a Billionaire. And I was going on my phone because I always have my phone. You guys always have your phone, but I never have books with me. I have all of the books. I have all the books everybody ever recommended, but I never read them because they're like legit books, and I have kids going crazy. And then at night, I don't want to go all the way upstairs to get a book, right? So, but I always have my phone. So I have the iBooks, and I was going through all these books that people recommended, and I went and I was reading them. And then I found this one, and it's called Think Like a Billionaire, Become a Billionaire. And I just thought, like, okay, this is going to be all about, like, the money, you know, like having the luxurious life, whatever. But it's not. It talks so much about that, you know, as a Christian or whatever you believe in, that subconsciously a lot of us feel like if you are really wealthy, you're not being Christ-like. You can't have or want more. Like, just like how Erin was saying, you have to figure out what you want, because, like, I feel like if I want more, that's like, that makes me sound like a bad person, you know? And the book talks a lot about how, like, the more you have, the more you can give. And God wants us to live an abundant life. He doesn't want us to be struggling or average. He wants us to be abundant. He wants us to be that billionaire, because guess what? When you're that billionaire, you can give that 10% of your tithing. You can do all of these crazy things. And maybe you don't have it in your heart right now that has like a give back mindset. And that might be because you don't feel like you have extra to give. But this book talks a lot about it, and I love it so much. And it just goes over, like, the difference between a average person's mindset or whatever and a billionaire's mindset. And it just talks about all these little things, and it really opened my eyes. Like, it's okay to want more. And that's when I went and I put on my dream board these big fat numbers, and I felt good about it, you know, because of course, you know, when I'm putting like $30,000 a month, I'm like, okay, cool, like, that's amazing. But when you're putting $130,000 on your dream board, you're like, what the heck am I gonna do with $130,000 a month, you know? And right. And so
handle that money just fine.
I know. Well, and so it had this great analogy that really stuck with me. And some of you guys might have kids, some of you guys might not, but you'll still understand. And he talks about, he has 2 boys, and his mom took out one of their sons. So the grandma took out one of the sons, and he got him this awesome gift. And then he took him out to go, I don't know, buy him something with his gift card or something like that. And he bought the same toy. And the dad asked, why did you get the same toy? And he said, well, because, you know, Lennox really liked it, and so I wanted to give one to him. And it talks about how, like, as a parent, you're like, oh my gosh, like, let's go get you whatever you want. You're the sweetest kid ever. Like, you're so giving, you're so loving, you're the best brother ever, you know, and all of a sudden you want to give to your kid. And I feel like that with my kids. Like, when Emma is so sweet to Ezra, I'm like, what do you want? Like, you want ice cream? I'll get you ice cream. You know, like, all of a sudden you're like, I'll give you whatever you want because you're the best kid ever. And you're so sweet, and you're so giving, and you're so loving. And it talks about, like, that's how Heavenly Father is to us. Like, He wants us to have abundance. And that was huge for me, because if you can't find the belief, you can't work the business. Because when you're talking to people, they will know if you don't feel passionate about it. They will know if you don't actually believe in what you're doing. And, you know, when you're focusing on that too, that helps you with other people to focus on them. I have a big number on my dream board, but in all reality, like, when I'm talking to somebody, I have to be about them, or else I just sound like a great salesman. You know, like they don't want to hear that. But anyways, so I could go off for like hours and hours.
Reasons why I love Christy, but I wanted you guys to have Christy and Erin on tonight. They are both rock stars in this business. They both have huge hearts. If you don't know either of them, meet them at conference because they will absolutely change your life. I mean, Christy's been a huge part of my life for the last 4 years, and Erin I met, I want to say almost 2 years ago. And so they are huge, huge inspirations, and they honestly do believe in whatever you put out, you get back in tenfold. Christy does have a huge heart. She is very red, but she does have a huge heart, and she will have your back no matter what. So Christy, what's your one tip of going into conference? Just a little bit. I don't know what she's saying. She's freezing now. But I love you. Mwah. Thank you, Christy.
Well, get your game plan together and what?
Oh, you came unfrozen.
Can you hear me?
Yes. I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. Make sure you get that game plan together. And the second thing is to unfollow all of the leaders that you know and love, and anybody on your team that has their crap together. You don't need to be seeing their is fresh potentials. That's all you need to see, because the comparison racing, and then you see that Sally is like killing it, and then all of a sudden you're down in the slump. So unfollow everybody.
Okay. We love you, Christy. Thank you. You're frozen again. But I love you. Bye. Okay. So girls, I just wanted to have these two girls on for a little bit of a kickstart. We've been on for 30 minutes. I don't know how many of you guys were on the Zoom earlier today with Kirsten was on it with, I just forgot her name, Brianne. Right? Okay. I'm losing my mind. You guys, this is my 4th Zoom today, and so I'm like, woo! I got my stuff together somewhat, sort of. But I did want to go over just a few things. If you guys were on, yes, the Zoom from earlier was recorded. But the biggest thing that I wanted to touch base and kind of go over, and Kirsten was on that Zoom too, one thing that really stood out to me was when your team has a vision. So if you're talking to your diamond, Kirsten's one of my diamonds, or she wants to go diamond, casting her vision a little bit bigger was huge to me. I absolutely love that. So if Kirsten's like, I want to go diamond, as her sponsor or as her upline, I want to cast her vision of going double diamond. Or if she's already diamond, she has a vision of going double, cast her vision of going triple diamond, and just up it just a little bit more, because that way they know that they can absolutely do their goal plus vision a little bit bigger. As Mark always says, dream bigger, go bigger. So if you guys, let alone right now, have your goal to go presidential, dream bigger. Why not go ambassador? Brianna was a triple diamond. Is it Brianna or Brianne?
Brianne.
Brianne, okay, I was right. So Brianne was a triple diamond at conference, and she went ambassador. Her goal was to go presidential. She had it planned, presidential. I'm going to go presidential. And she kind of talked about for a minute, because her plan was to go presidential at the end of the year, and she didn't hit that. So she was kind of in the slumps, and she's like, oh, it didn't happen. I told all these people about this goal, and it didn't happen. Yet she went to conference, and she had a plan of, okay, I'm going to go presidential. And then it kind of outflowed into going ambassador. So if you guys have a goal to go presidential, I urge you guys to have that vision of going ambassador, because it is absolutely doable. She had to have 168 distributors to make ambassador happen. She made it happen in 1 month. She did it in 1 month and just did it. She said, make a list of your core 4 to 5 people to promote. So you're going presidential, have your core 4 to 5 people. Obviously, we need 5 legs. Usually one's already completed. We're triple by now. But have your core people that you talk to every single day. and how important, she said, it's so important to have that relationship with them. She said that personal relationship is going to go a lot farther than any other type of relationship. And she said, sometimes I just get on the phone, on Facebook Messenger, hey, what are you doing today? That's it. Just connect with them. Or she said she was on the phone with some girl about flooring for over an hour and a half. She said, I could care less about flooring, but at that moment, that mattered to my team member. So that's what we talked about. So get your core four, who you are ready to build started in, who you are ready to have run with you. Find those core four and get ready to run. Right now is your time to let your family, your friends, your family know this is your busy season. You love them, but right now is your busy season. She said how one of her girls turned off the cable. She doesn't pay for cable. In the next 4 or 5 months, she turns it off. She doesn't even have cable. Save that money. You should be working. Let your family, your friends know. Say, I love you, but I'm working my business till April. This is where your focus needs to be. This is your busy time. Just like accountants, obviously, tax time. You don't see your accountant. He's doing taxes, right? Or she. We are the same way, and that's where your focus needs to be. January, February, March, April, all the way at least through April. Make a list of everyone and all the spots, and don't let someone know thinking, oh, Kirsten has it together. She always kind of promotes late, so I let her handle it. You stay on top of every single person that you need to promote for presidential or ambassador. You stay on top of that person. Even if Kirsten always promotes, she handles it. She's the type of girl who does the end of the week, end of the month. Sorry, Kirsten. She really does it. She's like on top of it. But she said, make sure you are in contact and you have a relationship with that person throughout the whole thing. Don't just rely on her handling it and getting it done because she always does. If you want a promotion, you have to make it happen. Just like Christy said, if you have 500 people to go ambassador, you plan on enrolling those 500 people. Don't rely on, oh, Kirsten's not triple, she's good, Terry's not double, so-and-so, everyone, whatever. If you have 500 people, you are enrolling those 500 people, and by the grace of God, those other people enroll people too, and then it just shrinks down and down and down. Christy went over rebuilding, which was another thing people talked about. Have your why. Have your why written down, and don't be scattered with it. Have your why so clear that you know what you are running for. So me, I'm single and I don't have any kids. So my why is going to obviously look completely different than someone who has kids, who's married, who whatever. But have your bid so wide and your why so big that it is very clear for you to promote and what you are fighting for. Because the more clear you are with that, the bigger you're going to run. Because obviously if you have kids, you're not going to look at your kids in the eye one time and say, I'm sorry, I just need to sleep 45 more minutes. Right? Most parents, I mean, I'm not a parent, but I would imagine most people don't say, I'm sorry, I can't do it. I need to sleep 45 more minutes. Right? So have your why so big and don't be scattered with that. Oh, she did talk about what if you're doing something that is working for you. So whatever got you to triple diamond. I'm a Facebook girl. I love Instagram, and I've been working Instagram more, but Instagram didn't get me to triple diamond. My Facebook did. So at this time during this season, you will see me working Facebook. And that was a big thing that she stood out. She's like, I love Instagram. I'm trying to work Instagram, but there's other girls, other leaders that rock it at Instagram. During your busy season, go back to what works for you, what got to your rank, and work on that right now. During non-busy times, you can be running with Instagram or running with whatever else might be. I know some people, one of my girls says she loves Twitter and she does Twitter. I don't get how that works with Twitter, but whatever. I mean, I used to tweet, I guess. Whatever. But whatever got you to triple diamond, go with that and don't run saying, oh, so-and-so's number. Christy's a bit Instagram person. don't think, oh, well, Christy did Instagram, so I'm going to jump ship from doing Facebook, which I enrolled 90% of my team, and her and try Instagram in the next promotion season. Anyone can do this business, but it is not for everyone. Okay. So when the $9.99 kits came out, I enrolled 45 distributors. I was pumped. I was like, this is great. A handful of those are still working. The other handful, I don't even know where they went. But don't be depressed about it. Keep on working and running with those that are running. That being said, if you have someone you are dragging, I'm a big believer in do not drag. I've done it for several years. And I'm like, oh, but so-and-so, I know you want this so bad. And drag them. Doesn't work that way. Like, you can only want this for them, but you cannot do it for them. So we're going to have Kirsten. She has no idea what we're going to talk about, but Kirsten, what did you kind of get out of today's Zoom? Or anything you want to share for promotion time, kicking off the new year? Baby bump. Can you stand up?
You want me to stand up?
No. She has the kids with the baby bump, though.
Yeah, I did. So, like, let me see what I have. Like, keeping your core people really close. And she said, like, you need to be really on top of every single person on your chart and, like, actually care about them and know their kids' names and stuff like that, so that, you know, you just got to keep everybody, like, really in your hands, especially before your promotion. And then in the summer, if you have to, like, let people go, that's fine. But right now, it's all about, like, really just holding on to every single person.
I did like that. And that's exactly what Christy said, too, with what Lori said. Whatever it takes to get to ambassador, do it.
Yes.
Get there. And then she, like, Brianne goes through now, and she's like, okay, so-and-so, I can work with so-and-so. But whoever can get you there the quickest, just go. Run.
That's the way I do it. When I chart, I don't think about it. I don't sit there and scrutinize every little thing. I just place people where I need them. Like, if there's a box, the next person goes there. And it's going to work itself out the way that it needs to. That's how it always has been for me.
Well, as you know, those people rise to the top.
Yes.
And so
somebody takes over that leg.
Yeah. So they'll rise. If they are a runner, they will run.
Yeah. It's just the luck of the draw, and somebody's going to pop up out of there. Loaning your confidence to your team until they have their own is huge for me, because I have some girls right now who are like double diamonds being paid as executives and rubies, and they want to promote to triple. And I'm like, I need you to promote to triple, but they don't see how it's possible. I know that it's possible, so I'm like lending them my confidence, and it's working. We're doing lots of power hours, and they're starting to get their confidence back up. So that's one thing that I've been doing a lot of, is power hours and just trying to get these people all together, like a lot.
I did love that Brianne said is don't overcomplicate it and have so many Zooms that you're like, oh, I joined this I told you could join this business, but now you have to see me for the next 8 hours this week, every single day or whatever. What me and my accountability partner have been doing is we do one Zoom the first Monday of every month with both of our teams, and then we do power hours throughout the week. And it kind of, I have hiccups. It kind of varies when we do power hours, but power hours are so much more important than, I shouldn't reword that. Zooms are amazing, but you want your team to be working. So if you're sitting there zooming, and they're not working, that's an hour of their time that they could be producing. So power hours are huge. Be doing power hours. That was another one. I'm trying to think what else they said today, which was good too. I think that's most of them.
Mm-hmm.
Continuing over everything. But I don't want to keep you guys too long. We are going to be doing Zooms once a month. Everyone told me at nighttime, which is interesting that everyone said nighttime, and we have 230 people on that page, and 10 of us are on tonight. So there's that. But me and Kirsten will be planning on doing these once a month. The days will probably change kind of according to mine and Kirsten's schedule. But we are excited for conference. As conference goes in, be praying for your team, be praying for your upline, be praying for your sidelines, be praying for your downline. Because as we know, the devil is going to be sitting on your shoulders more and harder than he ever has before in the past several months. He's going to be working now and getting in your head saying, you can't do this. There's no way. There's no way. There's no doubt. Whatever. He's going to be on you. So you got to fight harder and believe more and fight for your team even harder than you have in the past, because we are presidentials. We are ambassadors. Our journeys look a little bit different, and it's perfect. But we know that we can absolutely, no matter where you are right now, like Christy said, if you are maintaining triple, if you're maintaining double, or even Ruby, whatever it might be, you can absolutely go presidential. I know Nicole, she's a presidential. She was a double diamond at one point, but she was maintaining Ruby at that point, and she went presidential in 1 month. So you guys, their stories, Brianne went triple to ambassador in 1 month. Tiffany Herr sneezed and she went diamond and then triple and then whatever. We all know. But you guys, anything and everything is possible. I believe in you, and I know without a doubt anything and everything is possible. We all had 2017 was a year. And I said this to, I was on a Zoom with my ambassador, and we talked about this. And you know what? 2017 was a hard year for a lot of people, but it was such a learning year for me. And I'm going to take everything that I learned and apply it to 2018, because it is my year. I am top 100. So I'm going to pop a lot of personally enrolled diamonds. The way I'm enrolling, I'm going to have a lot of diamonds. But take it on. And like I was saying, pray for your sidelines, pray for your downline, pray for those people that are supposed to be in your team, on your team, that they get started with you guys, and know that I love you all, and I'm so grateful for you guys and for being a part of our page. Me and Kirsten made an executive decision that we are going to be a lot more active in the Push to Legendary page. I could tell you a lot of reasons why it was different the last few months, but you know what? That's in the past, and 2018 is going to look a whole lot different. So we are committed to make that page boom for you guys. One thing that I can tell you guys that has personally worked for me is find an accountability partner that you can talk to every single day, all day long with, because it will absolutely change your business. I'm going to recommend that it is someone that is not a part of your upline or your downline, because that's obviously they're making money off of you, or you're making money off of them, and so it's harder to push. How do you do that? Cindy, I would find someone you can push in the page, in either of the pages, in Lifer's page or Push to Legendary, and just say qualities that you have and say, I'm looking for an accountability partner if anyone's interested. Mine just happened kind of by default back at Green Carpet. I started messaging with an ambassador. We have seriously combined it. Our teams have a task page. So we have our original team pages, and then we have a challenge page that our team, and we only add those that want to run with us, and we give challenges in those pages. So I would find an accountability partner and someone that will run and push you. So if you are a yellow, find someone that is red that will push you and drive you and get you going. But definitely find an accountability partner, because that is someone that you have to be accountable to every single day. Cindy, because I know you. I could probably tell you guys all of your colors. That's the perfect being admin of the page. I just know you're yellow because I've talked to you. Kirsten's red and blue. And a little bit of green. Blue, you're blue. No,
I'm red and green.
Blue, and I want everyone to have blue. That's really why.
I have like this much blue.
What?
I'm so not blue.
It's because I'm blue, and I want everyone to have blue in them. So I'm always like, you're blue. Yes, you are. No, I'm not.
I'm like not. I'm more yellow than I am blue, and I'm not very yellow.
You're red.
Yeah.
Just a little bit. But do you guys have anything that you want to go over? Do you have questions? You're live. Do you guys like nights, mornings, Zooms? Talk to Kirsten.
I like afternoons or evenings. I'm not a morning person.
Nights work better for me too. So we'll kind of figure it out, play around with it, and figure it out. And we will plan another one in February after conference. So I love you guys. Have a great night.